Hello, hello, hello. Hey guys, this is me, and I thought maybe before the sun sets, and I thought maybe some guys or some of you might want to come in and like to share with everybody else. Um, this is the time to do it. Hey everybody, I'm live, and uh, uh, just for this, I'm going to turn this camera around and let you guys see some of the trails in the sky. Um, this means something to sky watchers. I'm not a real big sky watcher, but for those of you that are, uh, there's some trails for you over the state of Alabama. All right, guys, this is me in front of my house. Um, I just kind of wanted to talk about some things that are going on in the world today. I haven't been looking at news too much today. I had a wonderful um, Sunday go to church meeting time today, and so I'm still kind of wrapped up in that. I have been very blessed by a congregation of people that are just super to know, and I wish you all lived close to me so you could go to church with me. This is avocado tree. If you've ever tried to grow an avocado, please Google and everything before you do, because my avocado tree is basically it's not good. It's not good. It has it needs it needs something, but apparently it's not getting it from me. Go figure. But no, today's um, word at church was from Isaiah 60:22. There toward the end of the verse, in my translation, it says, "For I am the Lord, and I will make it happen in my time." And it was very a good word to hear today, because a lot of us are trying to make things happen, and we're trying to predict what's going to happen, and none of us really can. Um, right now, the best thing that we can do is to just trust completely in the Word of God. Trust God for everything, and just do good. Do good things. You don't not necessarily have to be a missionary or go out and just be good. Hey, Doug. Doug, I haven't been on, but just 3 minutes and 39 seconds and counting. So you just got here. It's good. But in these days, just trust God and uh, do the things that Jesus told us to do: to love each other, to love our neighbor as ourselves, and to love the Father with all our mind, soul, body, and strength. This is the day's best thing to do. And a lot of people don't think that they can trust God for everything, because they want to. Hey, AK, it's good to see you, buddy. A lot of people are having problems letting go and trusting God for everything, because they say, well, we can't see Him, we don't know Him, we don't know what He wants from us. Um, but I am finding that in these days that God is speaking louder, perhaps, than He ever has been. Um, and especially through His Word. So if you get into the Word some and just start reading and let Him tell you how to interpret it through your own mind. These are very exciting days. These are exciting times. Try not to focus on the worst of days. try not to focus on the bad things that are happening, but try to make good things happen. And just trust God. I never thought in my own life that I was going to be able to trust God for everything. And I mean everything. And since I've started doing that, I have found that it's possible. It's not only possible, it's doable. And He rewards those who do that. And He is really in the miracle working business still today. And I wanted to share that with you. Um, a lot of people are looking forward to, they want to be raptured away from this world because they don't feel like, because they don't feel like they want to be in this world. Um, and I sometimes I wonder, is that because you don't want to be in this world, or you want to be in God's world with Him, or you're just having a hard time getting along with things that are happening in this world, which is all of the above, more than likely. Okay, it would make me very happy if it would snow here in Alabama. It was in the 90s again today. The humidity has to be about 130%. and and I wore black. I wore black to church, and it's just black denim. I could handle it. It was hot. and Oh, I want to share with you guys. You might have remembered this story. Um, okay, that's not good news. That is not good news. That means another month or so. I have things around here that I've been trying to put off until the weather gets cooler, and what is it? The solar storms from the hole in the sun atmosphere? Are we getting these solar storms? Is that what heating us up? I briefly looked at the news and saw that it was snowing in Montana. Oh no! And that it's been snowing around Yellowstone, and I have a friend. Well, actually, he was the first man I was going to marry. He and his wife are in Michigan. Uh, their son goes to Michigan State, and or University of Michigan. I don't know. Go Blue, and and he was enjoying the weather up there because it was probably around the low 70s. And so I asked him if he was thinking about moving up there, and he said no, he doesn't like their winters. And so yeah, I can understand that. Um, Here in Alabama and Florida, these are um, these are some of the mildest winters. If you want a mild winter, this is the place to be. Last year we did get a snow or two. Uh, Closed the schools in the town a little bit. Everybody went and got milk sandwiches at the store. That's what we do here in Alabama. Hi, Daryl. Yeah, some days like today, I would take Alaska over Alabama any time, any day. I'm sorry about the traffic. there, I live on a main road to my alma mater, and the high school has a lot of traffic down through here. So we've got a couple of cheerleaders that live on the street, and their yards got rolled with toilet paper, um, which is always very pleasing to the rest of our neighbors because it kind of oh gosh, I hope a high wind doesn't bring it down our way. And then they don't clear it up because I think there's some kind of prestige maybe in having your yard rolled with toilet paper. I don't know if you have children that are teenagers and you've gone through this. Thank you, Doug. I'm glad. I don't understand. I really don't. I mean, I was a teenager. Guess what? I was a teenager one time, and later, um, but getting one's yard rolled with toilet paper is not very pleasant, especially if it should rain. And then it becomes like glue or plaster of Paris. So, and then you hope that downwind of all of that. And so all the guys are with me. I don't know what it is about me. I just, I've always been one to, me and the guys, we hang out, we talk and all this, and it's just the way I've always been. Isn't that strange? And I love firefighters. I love firemen. And ever since I met AK, I've been watching some videos of some of the best firemen, the ones called hot shots, you know, where they go into the wilderness and then they're fighting fires. And AK himself has been he's the driver of this machine that they made to take trees down so that they can make a fire break. I take it, and it's just and it reminded me of that movie about the firemen that I think it was in the desert area. This whole crew went out to fight a storm, and because of radio problems, this crew got stuck out in the middle of the fire, and they covered themselves with this silver metallic like thing that was supposed to help keep the fire from touching their bodies. But when the fire was done and said, I think they even tried to get some helicopter help to them, and was going to try to get them out. And it was just like a domino effect of bad things happening. And the whole crew was found dead, hunkered down. And that was so sad. And it was a true story. Yeah, it was about a tree. Um, they had been at a tree, and they had all done this work around it. And I don't even remember the name of the movie, but it was a very sad thing. But and you guys probably haven't seen a whole lot of Newsy. He's been real busy with his fireman work. Just 3 weeks before that, Arizona. I was kind of thinking maybe California. My puppy wants out. So let me get the puppy. Now I get to see puppy. Come on. Oh well, he just changed his mind. I opened the door and he says, "Oh no, it's oh no, it's still 90 degrees. He doesn't want to come out. He's got 5 inches of fur. Of course, he doesn't want to come out." I was talking with the guy last night. I told him that I had a solid white husky, and he said, "Well, I hope you live where it's cold." And I said, "No, live in Alabama." Oh, he went back in. I wanted him to come out. The hair on his tail is like 6 inches long. No, I don't blame him at all, AK. I wouldn't be out here except it's too dark in the house, and I've still got on my church makeup, and I still have my hair in a ponytail, and so I thought, well, gosh, before I love puppies, dude, I love puppies. Um, the only thing is that when you're training one, and it gets a little trying there because of that. I just realized that I have crow's feet when I smile. Daryl, church was good today. Church was really good today. I kind of opened it up with that. It was the bishop over the state of Alabama came and spoke with us, and he spoke on Isaiah 60:22. At the end of the verse, in my translation, it comes out to this, that I, the Lord, will make it happen in my time. So many of us try to make things happen for us, and we tell God what we want, and we tell Him when we want it and how we want it, but He's not going to do that. He's God. He doesn't have to. And but it just kind of made us all realize that sometimes we want doors to open. No, I'm not vain. I'm wrinkled. Look at that. Um, no, I am far from being vain. I'm getting old. I'm 59 years old, and I'm old. I see where I've got some wrinkles here, and this here needs to be tightened up a little bit, or just taken off, or filleted off. But thank you guys. I'm just trying to make the best of it. Oh, you're just a spring chick. Ambulance. You're just a spring chicken, 57. Oh, thank you, Daryl. Flattery gets you everywhere. It really will. Us Southern girls, we love that kind of stuff, especially if you're a daughter of the Confederacy. Oh, guys. I don't know if I've ever heard of it, but that after the Confederacy, after the Confederate War, there was an uptake on the KKK. Do you know why that was? It started out that the reason why that blacks were being persecuted, I guess, was because the Republican Party had made them Republicans, and it was starting to outnumber the Democratic Party. And so there there was a time there where the white Democrats were trying to make the black Republicans to stop their vote and their voice. So it really wasn't the beginning of it was not prejudice. The beginning of it was to try to stop the Republicans from voting. And, from the North, they were able to um, draw in more of the black votes, and because the black people wanted to be free from slavery. So that's how that all that got started. And then, of course, as time went on, it kind of turned into a prejudice thing. I think some of the people kind of used that as but a lot of people that are sons and daughters of people from the Confederate times, no, they don't teach that. They really don't. They don't need to. But do you know that it's still there's still that in our society today. I think some of it may not. They may not know that that was how it all started. Was just it was really it was just a rift in between Democratic and Republican parties, and then the color of the skin got involved, and there you go. Oh, Daryl, I have not been on the news that much today. Right before I came on, I saw that there was some disturbances between Yemen and Syria. I'm sorry, Saudi. Yemen and Saudi. Um, you had more on that last night, Daryl, before I closed down the Jerusalem stream than I've probably heard anybody talk about today. I think a lot of people are just kind of looking at that, at the Mideast thing, as that's something that they always do, and it seems to be something that's always happening. How it's going to affect us in our world today, I guess that remains to be seen. Did you hear that? I think it was a bird. Oh, yeah, Trumpet News is on, so if you guys want to go over and catch it, you can. I'll still be talking to my cell phone. Oh, I see, Daryl. All right. No, I would like to meet Doug. I really would. Um, I don't know if you live near Hilly or anything, but if I ever do make it up that way to visit with Hilly and Breeze, I would like to meet you. I, I kind of thought that you might be a Georgian. You might not be. But Doug is very kind. He's one of my subscribers. hmm I love my subscribers. I pray for them. They're my family. Well, everybody off my channel and off WD live stream are my family. Uh, uh, oh yeah, there's a lot to be said about real fruit. There really is. I talk about it with the Lord every day. I am one of those people that I talk to God every day because, in a sense, God talks to me every day, and so we have this relationship. You know, we're tight like that. So things have been happening in my life. I have been. Um, I am now a part of the prayer team at my church because I was telling them that God answers my prayers, and during a foundations class, and so they kind of looked at me like, that might be my calling, and so I am part of the prayer team at church. I am an intercessor. And it's exciting because there's one young man there that lost the vision in his right eye due to a stroke. But the doctors say that he will be able to recover the sight. It just hasn't come back yet. So I'm praying and believing for the sight in his right eye to be completely restored. And I told him that when it did, that I would dance in front of the church. And he said, "Well, I tell you what, when that happens, I'll dance with you." So we've got a we've got a lot of people that are looking forward to his restoring his sight. And I'm also believing for, Boss Stang. He's one of our subscribers on WD. I'm believing for his hearing to be restored. He lost his hearing, I think, as an 11-year-old, but I'm praying that his hearing will be restored. If not on this earth, in the next one, of course it will be. But I'm still believing. So if you want to help pray for me with those two guys, because I believe Boss Stang, that's his name on YouTube. He has a herd of cattle in Tennessee. Yeah, and you ought to go over to his channel sometime. He's very interesting. Um, he's got these black cows, I guess you'd call it, yeah, and they've been calving. This is the time of the year when they do that, and he had to bottle feed a couple of them because the mothers wouldn't nurse them. And so he was out there nursing, the bottle feeding his calves, and then he found a heifer that she was producing milk. There's Puppy. And so he tied her up and put her in a fence with the calves, and made her nurse those calves, and she did. Oh, I'm sorry. That's him. Isn't he pretty? He's got ice blue eyes. um, I'm sorry. The neighbor's dogs have decided to run up the street. It's a red tick hound. He's a gorgeous dog. But apparently he bolts when he gets out of the house. And that's what's happened. So let me get the puppy out. Let's see if the puppy will come outside. He's so dirty. And no. Puppy. No. He just wants to look out the door and see what's happening. He doesn't want to come outside. It's too hot. You should see him when he wants to come in. He jumps on the door. He knocks on the door when he wants to come in. um, and also, this is just between us guys, but as well as being on the prayer team at church, I talked with a few people, and I may get to teach a small group. I'm going to get to teach the Word of God. I am so excited about it, and of course I know it's all going to happen. Okay, feeding good. Okay, He's a wonderful dog. Puppy is about 5, and thank you, Daryl. Um, our small groups at church, it might range from 2 to 5 to 10, but I'm hoping for the best. It wasn't long ago that I I came up with a message, and I went to Walmart and I bought some things for a visual aid for this message, and it's on garments. It's on garments, and I'm looking forward to teaching it. And actually, it's about the what God told Moses to tell the children of Israel on how to prepare their garments, and so it'll be very interesting, and I'm hoping for the best there. It's gonna be good. This is gonna be a short a short chat because the ants have decided to come out and bite my toes, and I don't like ants. Actually, I could stand some help around the house. I need either a yard boy or an inside house boy. You know, um, my other half has not been able to help me around the house too much. I I'm hoping so, Daryl. I really am. I don't know. It happened when I truly gave myself to God, and because I needed Him when nobody else would help me, He did. And ever since then, He and we have a relationship now, which is what He wants for every one of us. He creates us to be vessels to contain Him. And when you study the Hebrew and Greek translation, you get an understanding of the Bible that you would not believe. And so if you go online a lot, some people will do that to read the Bible. Look at the Tree of Life version. This is a Hebrew translation that's coming out in English, and it is very enlightening. It is an extraordinary version to read. It's very close to the King James Bible. It was it's a messianic Bible. I've had one on reserve from Israel for this is my second year now, and I've been waiting on it, and they still say they haven't got the whole thing translated yet. So I'm waiting for that to come out to me so that I can have it in my hand. But the Tree of Life version that you can get online from the Tree of Life Bibles Society in Georgia, Rome, Georgia, um, it's an extraordinary version. Very enlightening. You can understand it. It brings the Word of God right to you, right where you need to understand it. So it's a good thing. Um, if you've been in Hilly's Bible study, there's a young man that comes in a lot, and that we know him as Kinshi or Outer Heaven. You know, I think I never heard else. Oh my goodness. I really have to say that God fills in a lot of those missing parts for me, Doug. It's amazing. But there's a lot of responsibility that comes with that. Also, like being a prayer intercessor, um, in James it says that the prayers of a righteous man avails much. There's a lot to maintaining a righteous standing in God, and that's not by my own works, but that's what God does. He gives us the gift of righteousness, and it has to be um, kind of earned and deserving each day. Um, and it's like I was telling the ones over that because God does answer my prayers, I can't turn my back on Him, you know? And thank you, Daryl. I hope so. Um, because God has taught me that He possesses us. And, you've probably heard that verse and the song that Jesus left the 99 to go after that one. When God wants you to be his child and you want to be wanted by God, um, he will keep you, and he will give his angels charge over you. That's written in Psalms. Let's see, he wants to go out. He better not make me get up. Hopefully he'll have to use the bathroom here. Come on. There he is. There's a puppy. Let me turn the camera on. There's a puppy. Hey. Hey, puppy. You want to come out and sit with me? Okay. Come on. Come on. Let's go sit down. Let's go sit down. See, see, like that's. I need my railing painted. Come on. There he is. That's Bama. He's the puppy. He's 5. He has 3 undercoats, I do believe. He's much like a sheep. When you brush him, he has this real dense, very soft fur like cotton. And then he has this coat that is basically there all the time. And then he has another coat that he's trying to shed now. But this is the dog that got hit by a car, I believe, and his left front leg was completely broken in two. I know, Doug. I know. Um, one of my male friends said, "You've got a war on your hands." He tries to stay in the house as much as possible, Daryl. Now, in the wintertime, he's constantly outside. But in days like this, he wants to be inside and he wants to sleep on the bathroom floor because the tile is nice and it's cool. And he likes that better. He probably wouldn't even be outside now if I wasn't out here. But he's a good one. But I was getting back to his leg story. Um, we couldn't afford surgery, and the vets wanted to do a surgery, and it was going to be, well, probably $1,500 to $2,000, and that might not have even been the X-rays. And I'm on disability, and he is too, and we just didn't have the money, so I did the only thing that I knew to do, the only thing that was left for me to do, and that was to pray. And so we would bandage his leg up. He got to where he just pulled all the hair off of it, I guess, trying to help himself. And we would bandage his leg and keep it medicated and everything, and I would pray. And I got to where every day I would come out and I would sit with him outside, so he wouldn't be alone. And he would just sort of lay a lot, and he would still eat and drink water. And then he got to where he would limp around on 3 legs, and that hurts you, we kind of considered, well, should we have him put down? Did we want to take that leg completely off and him just walk on 3 legs? And I just couldn't stand it. I just didn't want that. And I started praying for him, and one day he started walking, and then he started running, and then he started jumping, and that's probably been about a year and a half, and you can't even tell that anything ever happened to him. So, and it was a complete break. And he's walking on he's walking on all fours. I tell you what, Doug, uh, you know, God does not lie and he does not change his words, and there's no variableness in him. Um, all things are possible with God, and he can do anything. anything. And when he creates something, he puts his spirit in everything that he creates. Because why would the Bible say, even if we don't praise the Lord, even the rocks will cry out? Because God's spirit is in everything that he creates. And I believe that for Puppy. And I said, God, now your spirit's in this puppy, and you know that we can't, we don't have the money for the surgery, and I've got to trust in you. And there you are. He's a miracle. He really is. When I first got him, and he was a puppy, he got out, and which huskies are notorious for, and it was his front leg. His left front leg was broke. Yeah. He got out and he turned into traffic and got hit in the head, sort of by a car. Um, that just broke my heart too. And he lost one of his fang teeth because he's a lot. Uh, his family had timber wolf in them, as you can probably tell. Can't tell anything. He's completely healed, and sometimes, if I look really hard, I can still tell that 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 bone is broken and it's not completely lined up perfectly, but he walks on it. He does everything he wants to do. He can go as far as he wants to, too. But huskies are notorious for either digging under a fence or jumping over one, and he does that too. But um, he's a blessing. He's really a blessing. That's kind of, well, my first dog was a pit bull terrier, an American pit bull terrier, and she was precious to me. And we had her like for 11 or 12 years. And one time, I think she got some sort of bite, and she went into like a shock and kind of wanted to quit breathing. And so I would blow air into her nose. And there was a couple of times I pulled her through with that, praying and blowing through her nose. Um, Unfortunately, she took off, and we lost her. And she was the best pit bull. It all depends on the trainer. Um, they're good dogs. You just have to be good to them. But he'd make a wonderful stud. I don't have papers on him, but his parents, grandparents, were in the movie Eight Below Zero. That movie about the huskies that were left in the Antarctic or something. Yeah, I love dogs too, Doug. Um, you must be a dog whisperer. You could be a dog whisperer. You can kind of the wheelbarrow. Well, the wheelbarrow is used when I get groceries or I go to Wally World and I've got too much things for me to bring in by myself. Then the wheelbarrow gets used to bring them to the front door. As you can tell, my property is not level in any place. There is no levelness to it. Um, there's my car and camper and the rest of the yard stuff. That's where my husband's truck was stolen out of the driveway. Oh yeah, yeah. Husband's truck was stolen right out of the driveway. A '98 Dodge Dakota. That happened week before last. I didn't say a whole lot about it. I just told the guys at WD Livestream, to be praying with me because um, when I um, when I turned my life over to God, I gave him everything I had. I gave him the house, everything that had my name on it. I gave it to him as an offering, and to watch over it and do with it what you would. And it got stolen, so I prayed to God. I said, God, well, they took the truck and it's gone, and everything that was on it's gone with it. And Oh man, it depressed my husband big time. He stayed in bed for a week. It seemed like after that. Yeah, it was a bad hit. They got him for a Harley motorcycle, um, two pistols, and an assortment of electrical tools, a couple of meters that he uses for side jobs, lighting material, ladder, hand trucks. And I needed those hand trucks to get stuff out of here too. And I'm going to show you what puppy's done. That's him. He had all 4 feet in the air. He's a beautiful dog. But come to find out that yeah, that's what I think too, Doug. It was just and there a guy found his tools. Uh, a guy bought some tools from somewhere. And then someone, a friend of his, saw them and he recognized the tool bag as belonging to my husband. So he calls him up and he takes a picture of it and he sends it to him and he says, "Look, you know, this looks like your tool bag and it looks like your tools." And yeah, it was. It was his tool bag and his tools. And he said, "Well, if you'll meet me at a certain place at a certain time, I'll give them back to you." Guy paid $100 for a tool bag full of tools. And he met him and he got some back. hmm Now he pretty much thinks he's got the name of the guy that did it. And it's just a, you know, young guy, probably gang related. Which my car is an SSR, and it's a two-seater, and it's a convertible. I bought it after I moved back home. When after my mom died, I moved back into the house that I was raised in, which is this piece of property. So this is where I grew up all my life. And things didn't really go well after I moved back here. I bought that car for myself, and it's fun when there's, you know, it's just you and somebody else. But like I can't take more than one person to church with me. And right now the lid in the back doesn't open. It's something mechanical or electronic with it, and so I have to put all my groceries in the front. And it's just gotten it's hard on me. 10 years ago, uh, it was okay, but now that I'm at my age, life is getting hard on me. um, Being the church lady and going to the church every now and then and getting groceries in Wally World, that's about it for me. Um, we've got some new neighbors. I can't, you know, I can't call on anybody anymore. Um, and the people I do know, well, my goodness, they're just as bad as shape as I am. You know, and once you get to this age and you're on disability, oh yeah, adapt and overcome. That's like Captain Bass was telling me the other day. He says, you know, Google is our friend. It really is. Oh, I ask Google everything. If I don't know something, I'll just ask the question. And then the greatest joy I think I ever had is when you can say, "Hey Google," and Google will do something for you. Did you know that if you're driving and you want to call someone, all you have to do is talk to your phone and say, "Hey Google, um, dial so and so," and it will. Which is good because you're not supposed to be texting and driving at the same time. Um, I'm sorry, I'm fighting ants. That's my loyalty to my people was I'm fighting ants with my feet while I'm talking to you. But I thank you guys so much for just being here. Doug's been a good subscriber to me, and he talks about things. He leaves comments on my videos. I think that's extraordinary. And I've run across a young man at church who plays acoustic guitar and sings. And he's come to know the Lord, you know, and it's real fresh with him and everything. And he's trying to do his best for God, and playing things for him and singing with the church, and he's doing just a fantastic job. And I'm thinking about live streaming him. I'm thinking about maybe Oxford Lake, just go down there in one of the pavilions and let him play and live stream him. And, together, maybe I could deliver a word if God, sees fit, and let him share some of his songs and his singing. And he's a very attractive young man. And I think you can pray about it. Maybe God will bring something to, in addition to this channel. Um, I would like to introduce him to YouTube. He's on Facebook, and his name is Tyler Ward, and he's got black hair and graying. And hey, Ken. Oh, so it's the puppy. Hey, Ken. Um, yeah, I wanted to share with Ken. You've heard of white rice and brown rice. Well, I just got introduced the other day to something called black rice. And I had never heard of black rice, but sure enough, there really is such a thing as black rice now. I don't know what country it's grown in, but as I get enlightened on that, I'll be sharing that with you too. Doug, it is so surprising. I there's a house in the community where some of the ladies from like court cases will be taken to for a 12-step program, and it was close to the house, and it was about a year or so ago, and I thought, well, I'll just introduce myself to them and see if they want me to do a Bible study. And I talked with the mother of the house, and I understood what was going on. That door never opened, although I was able to give them clothes and shoes. And so then I'm going to church, and I run across another home where ladies, and I kind of asked them, but that door never opened up. And then all of a sudden, God opens a door for me to not only to be able to worship with them, but also to pray with them if they want to. It's so it's amazing, and that's what that word from the bishop today came was Isaiah 60:22, and toward the end of the verse, and it says, "I, the Lord, will make it happen in the right time, or in His time." You know, we want to hurry God up and say not. Like then, I was wanting to go into the home and do a study. Well, then I got to thinking later, the state of Alabama or the law probably doesn't want outsiders going into the homes that the court issues them to go stay at, even though they can leave and have jobs and things. I'm sure that that was something that they didn't want introduced into the home was an outside influence. So the reason the other door opened up was the home is now coming to the church, which opened up the door to me. Um, and I thought, this is just outstanding. So a home where there's probably 15 to 20 ladies living in is now coming to our church. And not only can they get ministered to, if they want to pray, they can. If they want to be prayed over, they can get that also. So, if you just, it's like that verse that says that stand still and see the salvation of the Lord. If you want a door to open up, wait. Be patient. Use your fruit of the Spirit and wait. Because if you do, when God makes it happen, everything around it will be perfect. And then the Spirit and the fruits of the Spirit can be um, enjoyed by everyone. And so that was just an awesome answer to prayer. And then being opened up to be able to teach small groups has opened me up to being able to have time spent with the other ministers and their wives in the church, and finding out what they're doing. Like one couple is having an online marriage ministry, where they just go online and share some of the best things that work with them with marriage. And it's just amazing how uh, the internet is being used as much as it can be to get the word out so that the whole world, the whole inhabited earth is in the word or has heard the word. But it's something you guys could pray with me about is, you know, in these days you can see where a lot of people are rejecting Jesus. And oh really? Well, Doug, you're up there in Massachusetts. Bless your heart. Do you want me to pray about that for you? Tubby, don't dig holes. I already need dirt in the yard because of that. I'll be praying for you, Doug. This Tyler Ward, he put a thing on Facebook that said, I want someone to chase God with me. And I thought, that just tugged at my heart. I thought, oh my Lord, if I had just been 20, 30 years younger and unattached. Do you know what the most attractive thing about a man is? A man of God. Um, you know, like the way he said it, I want someone to chase God with me. And I know what that's like to be attached to someone that's not chasing God with you. Um, which God is good. He can make the relationship so great that that doesn't matter. But there's sometimes when I'm reading the Bible and I want to just talk to somebody about it and ask questions. And what do you think? And how do you think Jesus thought when that happened and all? And I can't do that. I want a man to pray with me and read the Bible with me and go to church with me and and so if you've got that in your life and you're happy, oh my goodness, praise God for it. Um, Whether you go to church or not and you've got that together, be happy. Um, you're fortunate. There's a lot of people that are lonely and having to do these things by themselves, and I've got about 6.5 acres here in Alabama, and I have absolutely no help at all. Um, the reason that the yard looks this good is because it's been cut one time, and the weather's been so hot the grass hasn't grown. But there was a weekend or so I had 4 people here trying to get the property, um, you know, tolerable. But God's good. These things come around. Just have to be patient and wait for them. They come. Well, the dogs are getting started up again, and so I'm going on about 58 minutes. Is 53. Is there anything you guys want to talk about? Doug, I tell you what, if I could, we'd go out to dinner. We'd eat lobster and clams that we couldn't eat anymore. I like oysters too. Um, Very few times have I eaten lobster. Once. One time, I think, I've had lobster. Um, and had to go to Birmingham to get that. Now, sometimes when I go to my Daughters of the Confederacy luncheons, I get to eat pretty good here in town. But lobster and that stuff, there's just no place here unless you go to Olive Garden or Red Lobster. You know, big name restaurants. I haven't been out to eat in years. in years. It costs too much, and when you have to watch your food monies, it's cheaper to cook at home. Or this month was so lean though, I had to rely on the church. Every the church on every third Saturday would give food away, and I was able to go and get a few things that helped get me through the month. But now I'm counting dollars trying to be able to get to church a couple of times with gas money, and my coffee maker quit. I lost my coffee maker a few days ago, so now I boil it on the stove in a pot and spit coffee grounds out. But I have to admit, Tater did offer to buy me a coffee pot, a coffee maker, and I told him, I could wait till the third of the month, and and make it like that. So, well, as you can see, the sun is starting to set into the west, and that's the sky toward the west. Behind me in the eastern part of the property is a big mountain. I've got a property there in the back, and I've got trees that people could have for wood. It's just amazing the things that I could give away if I could just. The truck's been stolen, so I don't have a way of hauling things off. Well, you ate good, Ken. You ate real good. Oh, Boston. It's a Boston thing. Oh, yeah. Ken's having problems breathing, and if you've seen some of his videos on WD Livestream, the dust that comes off of the rice that he works with down there is just it's amazing. I'm sure he's having a terrible time breathing. Um, Now that Boston thing, I got my feel of that when I lived in Point Pleasant, New Jersey. Oh yeah. Um, I'm sure Massachusetts is much nicer than New Jersey was, but I got my feel of that. It is a pretty sky, though. It's kind of a peachy apricot pink. Is it chemtrails or anthrax? So many people, so many people nowadays. Yeah, I would love to see Boston. I've heard some stories about it. I know that I would enjoy it up there. And Granny that's on our channel, she was in Maine before she moved to South Carolina, and she enjoyed it up there too. But hey, it's been really good to talk with you guys today. I thank you for coming by and chatting with me, Doug. I hope things get really happy around your way. I pray for you guys, and I love you very much. You are family to me. So I'm gonna let you guys go. Um, get ready for an evening. Probably go to bed early. And I'm still praying that by some kind of miracle or something, um, I'll have some people come in and help me here around the house and get some things toted off. You better know it, Doug. I love your picture. I think you're cute. Thank you, Ken. I've been following you on Facebook. I see you on Facebook a lot. So I thank you so much for your inspirational posts. And the man that also, you and he both do a lot of posting on there. Newfie. Hey, Newfie. I was just saying goodbye to Doug and Ken. I already had an invitation to Boston. Um, well, I think it was an invitation to dinner with Doug and maybe lobster. Yeah. Oh, I know, Ken. I'm following you. I chase people down on social media. It's good to see Newfie again. He's been very busy in Newfoundland, and the temps are cooler up there, guys. They really are. But if I get so far north that I hit Boston, I probably have to go up and see Newfie in Newfoundland. Of course, I don't know that I could afford it, but it would be a nice trip. I appreciate you an awful lot, Doug. You just don't know. You make me smile. And that's a good thing. Anytime someone makes you smile. And I remember your name and your words. So, and good to see Newfie again. And hopefully Newfie will be back around. See, I love it. When I don't have a lot of light on my hair, it looks like it's turning black. See, I had baby blue eyes, and now they're, I'm getting eaten up by ants, Newfie. My eyes are getting sort of a green tint now. Isn't that odd? All my life had baby blue eyes with a yellow ring around the pupil, and now they're turning sort of a turquoisey, greenish tint. Really? Yeah. Well, we sure do miss you. We miss you a lot. We need to do another call-in show together. That's good advice, Doug. Good advice. And you know, if you have an old friend, that means that something went right in that friendship for a long time. That's really good. Uh, I'm losing my daylight hours. Yeah, yeah. We need to do that. There's a lot of things for to talk about. And I miss your accent. I miss talking to you, eh? I really do. So we need to do that together real soon. Good night, Doug. Love ya. Take care. Remember me in prayer tonight, as I remember you. Oh, you guys. Yeah. Ken, I hope your breathing gets better. We're gonna be praying about that too. Bye, Doug. Doug in. Newfie, Hilly wasn't on last night. Um, Hilly didn't have a Bible study last night, and it kind of got Tater concerned, and so he and I both sent him an email, and we got word that he was that that Friday they had a storm, and he had some lines down, and I'm I'm not at a lot of liberty to say much, but we need to remember Hilly in our prayers. But we got that word back from him that he was okay. Yeah. Um, so if you didn't get notified, it's because there wasn't a Bible study. I think we would all enjoy Ken cooking a big dinner for us. That'd be good. I am really looking like my aunts and uncles used to. I remember them having black hair and blue eyes just about to the day they passed this world to the next. So, yeah, Ken's a good cook, I'm sure. All right, guys, so this is it. This is all she wrote, or all she's going to talk about. Yeah, he's getting all that rice dust. And that's hard to, and with the heat too, because I've been having to use my inhaler with the heat and the humidity. So I can imagine what it's been like for him. Love you, Doug. Yeah. How's Buster? I've already showed off Puppy for the crowd. Oh, look there, Mr. Humphrey. Hi, welcome to Kathy's Corner. I'm Kathy, and just about to shut her down for the evening. All right. He's a good puppy too. All right. God watch over each and every one of you, and may He bless you and shine. Well, thank you. It's good to have you here. Um, Mr. Humphrey, this is WD live stream channel, and I'm Kathy. I do a Kathy's Corner, and I have a live chat. So if you would hit thumbs up and ring the bell, and we'll notify you when things are going to happen. Okay, y'all share the ice cream all around. All right, guys, have a wonderful Sunday evening, and may God bless you and keep you in divine health, and may His face shine upon each and every one of you. All right. Thank you all for coming by and chatting with me. Have a wonderful evening. Thank you, Ken. Bye, brother.